Richie Rich Show.
Hey, what's going on, YouTube? What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing out there in this wonderful night? It's about 9 o'clock at night, and just making a quick video. I've been having some thoughts the last couple of days, and I don't know, I thought I'd share them with the world. You know, it's about lease purchasing, and when I think about it, you know, I've been doing some reflecting on lease purchasing. And first, I start from here. You guys probably saw that I took away my videos of the company I work for. I'm still with them, and they are still a good company. I just figured that right now is a time where I don't want to flood them with too many applicants, because I noticed they raised the price of their leases. You know, my lease is $9.95 a week, and I'm hearing that they raised it to $12.50 a week. And I don't know, I don't like that, and that's because the demand is there. You know, if you didn't have the demand, you know, they wouldn't have raised leases that high. And honestly, my perception of leases is starting to change. I don't know if it's worth it anymore, to be honest with you. And this might come off a little wild for some of you guys. You know, I've been a lease operator for 10 years, right? I've been driving a truck for 11 years. And I was looking at my year-to-dates, and for all those 10 years, you know, I don't own a truck, which I should, you know, and I'm still kind of back where I used to be when I first started, you know, just working the weekly grind. On paper, right, when I calculate all my years of driving a truck, the grosses of all those years, that's well over $1 million. But I'm not a millionaire. You know, I'm really starting to think lease purchasing is not really worth it. You know, I'm just thinking about it because, you know, I think that these companies and the whole trucking industry itself, I think that they really take advantage of people, to be honest with you. Paying $4,000 a month for a truck, and I didn't do the math for this, but $4,000 a month for a truck, and at the end of the lease you still owe $80,000. You know, I mean, to buy it out doesn't really sit right with me. You know, I think the trucking industry really gotten greedy, you know, to be honest with you. Hey, I'm sorry, I'm back. I got a phone call. But like I was saying, you know, I'm paying $1,000 a week for a truck to lease. That's just my base pay to operate this truck. And you think about it, that's $4,000 a month. That's around $48,000 a year. If you times that by the length of the lease, that could be upwards to about $191,000. The truck is only worth $144,000, brand new. And you know, once you've driven it for so many miles, you know, and you put miles on the truck and wear and tear, even after that's 4 years of paying those $50,000 a year, the truck is still going to be worth about $80,000 to buy it out. And I just think that's a ripoff. Okay, you know, I know this video might come off as just strange coming from me, but these last few weeks, man, I've really been thinking about this whole entire trucking game, and that's exactly what it is. You know, I think lease purchases really work for people who are homeless, you know, don't have a family life and live in their truck 24/7, because even if you take a week off, you find yourself in the hole $1,300, you know, and it's like a punishment to go home now. And I know some guys are saying, well, that's why you need to have a time off account. That's why you need to have money put up and such and such and such. Yeah, it's true. But time off accounts are controlled by the company. And what I don't like about that is if something goes wrong with the company, they take your time off account. If you guys don't believe me, listen to what happened to Crazy Bags a few years ago when he decided to go scuba diving in the back of his truck with a trainee, if you know what I mean. But, I'm looking at, things now, and I'm just starting to really think, did I waste 10 years? Because at the end of the day, I don't own a truck, and I paid thousands and thousands of dollars out that I'm not seeing a return on. Okay. Yeah, I got experience. Okay. Yeah, I do. And yeah, I have a job. Yeah. But do I have any equity? Do you know what I mean? Do I have any real collateral on this trucking thing? Like this truck here, it's nice, brand new when I got it. But even after me paying all this money for 3 to 4 years, I won't own the truck unless I pay an additional $80,000 to buy it out. And I think that's such a ripoff. And I'm not talking, like I said earlier, I took down the videos of the company I work for because, right now in trucking it's not the best times in trucking, and it's really making you reflect if it's even worth it. Here I am away from family, working, 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day, sitting at a load, shipping receivers. Can't find anywhere to park. Fuel prices are still high. Load rates are low. Dealing with rude customers, and I'm wondering myself, is it worth it? Not to mention the health aspect of being a truck driver. I since I've been driving truck for 10 years, I think I gained like 60 pounds. And I know some guys are like, Rich, that's your fault because you shouldn't be eating everything on the road and you should be working out. And yeah, you're right. I used to be very disciplined in that. I used to always PT all the time, but it's kind of hard to PT when you're training or you're driving, after a long day, So these are some of my thoughts. I mean, I know in my comments, I'm gonna have some guys saying, well, I'm a company driver and I drive, blah, blah, blah a day, and I bring home $1,500 every week or so, but that's because you're lucked up in your demographic where you live at. I live in the South, and where I live at, they don't pay that well. And see, I'd be damned if I'm going to be out here driving a truck and bring home less than $1,000 a week, right? But, I guess when you think about it in hindsight, maybe that's probably the best thing, because let's say I average $2,000 a week driving a truck here. I got to take out for taxes, which is 25%. I got to take out for medical, insurance. You got to fund your own 401k or your own SEP, self-employed IRA. You got to fund your own self, because if you don't, I'm going to tell you something. Before you know it, 10, 20 years will pass by and you not have a dime. There is people who do this thing and don't have a dime after 20 years. And see, that's what worries me about trucking, about doing this. I mean, I've already been in this game 10 years, and I didn't really see myself doing a truck drive for 10 years. I honestly thought I would hop on this thing for a little while into something else, but I guess I got comfortable, And now I think about it, I don't know if it was worth it. Honestly, God, I just don't. Trucking is one of them things where, nobody comes into this industry with a lot of money, number one. And, 10 years ago, I was going through a career change, and I was dead broke and I needed a job. But I've been sticking around for so long because I just got used to it, used to doing my own thing and used to making the quick money weekly. But this lease purchase thing I don't think it's worth it. It just isn't, And I know some people will say, well, when it's good, it's good. When it's bad, it's bad. But I don't know. Because even when it's good and you are making good money, what cost is that? You know, there's been countless times where I didn't spend Thanksgiving or holidays with my family. I missed birthdays, funerals, you know, just small, intimate things. So I don't know. I was listening to a couple of YouTubers on here the other day, and they were just talking about some of their experiences, and it made me think about mine. You know, being a truck driver, being a lease operator, is it worth it? And I'm being honest with you, I don't think it is. Now, it's a tool that you use for a while to get what you need, then you do something else. I think I stuck in this thing a little too long, to be honest with you. You know, 10 years of doing this, and I don't own a truck. That's what's really getting to me. You know, 10 years of doing this, and I don't own a truck. I'm just renting a truck and trying to make a living out of it. Doesn't make sense. The trucking industry, you know, and the reason I'm saying this because I was listening to a older guy talk on a documentary about trucking back in the 80s, early 80s, and he was saying how these companies got carried away with this lease purchasing. They didn't really do lease purchasing back in the day. That's because truckers were able to make a decent living. Now, they did do some illegal things by running multiple logbooks. So that's how they were able to make a lot of money. But this used to be a real true middle class, upper middle class job. And now I don't see it. I don't see it, you know. So I don't know. I went home for Thanksgiving, stayed a week home, and got my settlement last Friday, and I'm in the hole $2,700. When I went home, I did go home on a load, and even that load still get me in the hole $2,700. And I started thinking to myself, now I got to work myself out the hole and then be positive again. And I'm thinking to myself, is it even worth it? You know, I think they charge too much for these leases. You know, instead of me paying $1,000 a week, I should be paying more like $5,000. You know, this lease should be $2,000 a month, not $4,000. And that's all leases. You know, can you imagine if these guys, not this company, but just a lot of companies out here actually charge what the truck was worth? You know, can you imagine paying $400, $500 a month, a week on a lease or whatever, and then you made $5,000 or $6,000? I mean, one, the turnover rate would be so low because nobody would leave, and two, you know, that would keep guys happy. That would make the company happy. I mean, I wouldn't leave a job if the lease was cheaper and I was making a lot of money. Do you know what I mean? There's no way I would leave, and then I'll be able to do a lot of things with that money. Possibly build myself up a retirement and leave, and possibly buy myself a truck. You know, just it'd have been countless. But you know, trucking companies are just greedy. It's all about the dollar. You know, there is a guy at the company making a lot of money, and it's the guy who's not driving the truck. You know, he's not out here sacrificing his life or freedom or health to do this. You know. So anyway, guys, I'm just making a video about my thoughts about lease purchasing, and like I said earlier, I took down the videos of the company I work for because I still work for them, but I just, one, guys are not giving referrals. Guys will use my information but not give me a referral. Secondly, I think too many people are coming to the company because they are upping their lease charges now. So they're higher, okay? I don't understand how when fuel prices were historically high, freight rates were historically low, how they charge more money. I don't, you know. You can be a true slave to this stuff, and I think that's what I've been for the last 10 years, is a road slave, living in a 6x9, you know. So I don't know, folks. I've been doing some thinking, You know, I was a police officer for 13 years, and even though I didn't make the money I made as a truck driver, I had a lot more freedom. I did. You know, after work, I was able to still go to family functions and be home and sleep in my bed. And, you know, I guess everything costs, you know, there's a cost. So anyway, I'm just making this video, and it's not really encouraging. I'm sorry. It just isn't. You know, it's a reflection of the last 10 years of lease purchasing. And I gotta be honest with you. I mean, the different crap I've been through with these companies, you know, ripping drivers off. You know, USA was one, just ripping the drivers off. I did Snyder lease purchasing, and basically with them, I was one of the first ones to do the lease purchasing. So you couldn't take the truck with you. You couldn't take the truck to another company. Now they allow it, but back then they didn't. Who else? Stevens, you know, running miles to make a check that was $600-700. You know what I mean? Just the bullshit I've been through. Prime was decent. I mean, they were decent, but even then, not being open up to the low board to where you can run where you want to run. You know, it's like lease purchasing is a joke, because they call you an owner operator, right? Independent contractor. But all you really are independent from is them paying you, like, from them paying your own taxes and paying you benefits. Everything else is controlled by the company. Everything, even the truck. Like, I got this safety monitor on this damn truck, right? That if I cross near the white line, it buzzes off something crazy. I don't know whose idea was that to put in the truck. The truck is governed at 65. I can't idle the truck if I want to. I have to take the loads they give me. And yeah, even though I can say, yeah, I don't want that load, you know, I can't look for a specific load to pay me what I really want. You know, I got to take what they give me. If they get pissed off at me, they can start giving me loads for that day, right? So, you know, what is an independent contractor? What's an owner operator? They shouldn't even say that no more. What you are is truly, you're an employee. And, you know, there's no real difference between you and a company driver, other than you're paying for everything and the company driver isn't. Are you guys making the same amount of money? They're taking a lesser pay, but technically when you think about all the breakdowns or all the home time you take, it probably averages out about the same. And I'm starting to think that maybe this is the biggest gag in trucking. Just, you know, calling yourself owner operator when you're leasing a truck. You know. So I don't know, folks. You know, I'm just sitting here reflecting on this 10-year journey. Yeah, I'm just thinking, no, I don't think it was worth it. Anyway, be inspired. I'm disappeared for a while. Like, subscribe, and comment, and tell me how you feel about it. I'd like to know how you guys feel about lease purchasing. You know, I wish that there was a government oversight like the railroad companies have that can just look into some of these programs and be like, you know, this is not really benefiting the driver. And it really isn't. You know, I think about 3 years of paying $50,000 a year to rent this truck, that this truck will be paid off. And still at the end of those 3 years, when I go inside to buy this truck, they still gonna want $80,000 for it. You know, it's a ripoff, man. This whole thing is. But that's capitalism for you, right? You know, you get the lower, weaker people to pay for it, and the people who got the money make all the money. I'm ready for some role reversals, you know? 10 years of this shit. Anyway, y'all be cool. Peace.